These days, if you stand in line at a shop to pay for something, you'll notice that many people choose to split their payments instead of paying it today in one go. I've seen people not even blink when asked, pay now or split it over 3 months. There's not even a blink before split it comes out as a reply. And with that reply comes a little smile. That smile, that little click of convenience, I think is costing far more than shoppers realize. We've all heard the pitch by now. Buy now, pay later is sold as smart, modern, empowering. Just 3 little neat payments. Just 3. No credit check, no paperwork, no shame. Just 3 little neat payments. So neat that they feel like nothing at all. And it's not just a pitch. Buy now, pay later is like a movement. Buy now, pay later is marketed as financial inclusion, as a way to help the underbanked, the rejected, those that are struggling in the economy. That all sounds good, doesn't it? Who wouldn't want to include everyone? Who wouldn't want to make life that little bit easier? But is it actually easier though? Just because the marketing and the advertising says it, doesn't make it so. We all know that debt is rising. Consumer debt is the debt I'm talking about here. Financial institutions have got a lot of people hooked on credit. The whole credit industry already had its hooks into everyone with a good credit history. And even those with a mediocre one. Those with credit cards, those with overdrafts, those with loans. These people are already being squeezed. They are already paying vast amounts of their income, the money they are earning in a job or a business, to the companies that loan them money. This market, those with good or mediocre credit, or even those with poor credit in many cases. This was the entire credit market and it was well known. But then the things you'd expect started happening. Defaults were rising. Too many people had learned their lesson. And there were too many who simply couldn't borrow anymore. They were maxed out. Many had simply reached their borrowing limit. So in that kind of scenario, where does the next growth come from? If I'm a loan provider and I want to carry on growing my loans business, then where should I turn to next? What about the growing number of people outside of the credit system? Those that are shut out of the credit system. They are earning money, they're bringing in an income, but they can't get credit for whatever reason. People with no credit history, people that are already in trouble. They're not doing well financially, but they do have some sort of income coming in. Still, people who think they don't have access to credit. Now that's a big market. Small individually, yes, but so many of them together, collectively, that's a huge market, and one that might be worth tapping into. Hook them early, really early, and you've got a steady claim on their income streams. Month by month, their money flows away from them and to you, predictably, reliably, and quietly. For me, buy now, pay later is not a product, it's a strategy. It's a very clever strategy. And this is what the credit companies realized. If we wrap debt in soft colors and call it convenience, if we call it inclusion, we can tap into millions of new pockets. Because yes, each one is small, but together they're worth billions. And buy now, pay later is how they tapped into this massive new market. People with no credit score, they're now feeding those credit companies all the time. And once they're in, once they've split enough payments, and once they've started juggling those installments, they're hooked. Pretty soon, pretty much all of the money that they're earning or they're bringing in is going to be flowing to these credit companies in little debt repayments, fees, interest, charges, all of that. And that's exactly how it was planned. I mean, if it worked for those with a good credit score, why wouldn't it work with those with no credit score? Why not make it easier for them to spend, even if they don't have the money for it today? And this works brilliantly because it doesn't feel like borrowing. It feels like progress, like belonging, like you're keeping up, but you're not. And again, to make it work, the story is buy now, pay later is for you. No credit history? No problem. And by the way, it's interest-free if you're responsible. It's fairer, it's smarter, it's inclusive, it's modern. But inclusion into what? A system where you spend your whole life handing over tomorrow's income for today's wants? For me, that's not inclusion, that's entrapment. And here's what you don't hear. Buy now, pay later isn't good or bad on its own. It's not. It depends, like many things, entirely on what you use it for. If you're splitting the cost of replacing a broken fridge until payday, then that's fine. That's a legitimate use. That's using it as a short-term bridge for a particular need. I don't think anyone would argue with that. And there are some real needs that buy now, pay later can serve. But most people aren't using it for that. They might start out using it for that, but use goes far beyond that very quickly. They start using it for wants instead. Not needs, wants. Things that don't build their future. Things that you'll forget about while payments quietly continue. And here's where the psychology takes over. Buy now, pay later taps into what's called decision fatigue and impulse bias. One tiny monthly installment feels harmless, so we pay attention to £25 a week, not the total £140 cost. And that colors everything. Every purchase feels affordable. Every checkout moment feels safe. Except it isn't, because underneath it lurks a powerful trigger. Ease plus psychological bias equals overspend. And that's That's the problem. Buy now, pay later isn't a con, but it's loaded with hidden intent. It's designed to capture people who are underserved by the credit system, and then it will convert them into repeat borrowers. Not charging up front can sometimes seem fair. I don't know why, but it can seem fair. It isn't. It clearly isn't. It might feel good, but it certainly isn't fair. But it can feel that way. But the hidden cost is repeat usage. Those small installments gently enhance monthly cash flow until they don't. Buy now, pay later isn't fair or unfair. It's neutral. Neutral until you decide how to use it. The appeal lies in how easy it is. By removing the friction, buy now, pay later makes purchases, impulse purchases, seem harmless when they're not. And this taps into deeper psychology. Decision fatigue makes us default to convenience. Small monthly payments seem convenient, seem simple, and they often feel safe, but they compound fast. And over time, they quietly drain your financial future because you've given them permission to take small financial bites month after month of money you haven't even earned yet. I've said it a few times already, but I'm going to say it again. Buy now, pay later. It doesn't have to be your enemy, but it isn't your friend either. So don't treat it like one. The companies behind them aren't charities. Remember that. They're built to make money, plain and simple. This is what it looks like on the ground. The girl in the shop, new shoes every month, still paying off the last pair. The guy at work, several buy now, pay later agreements running concurrently at the same time, and he can't keep track anymore. The mother of two using buy now, pay later for groceries, wondering why there's nothing left at the end of the month. It's hard to cut something you can't measure. That's overrun you. Buy now, pay later teaches you how to think in monthly installments in terms of monthly payments rather than prices, the full cost of the item or things you're buying. It turns every one of your paychecks into that credit company's cash flow. They don't want you to save. They don't want you to wait. They don't want you to own assets. They want you to split. So next time you're at the till, online or physically, and they ask, pay today or split it, pause. And remember, you have the power to decide whether splitting it is helping you or not. Or is it just a way of transferring your money to them? You don't need to hand over your future to feel included today. Remember, every pound you save is one more pound that you don't owe anyone. Now, if this has saved you money, I really hope it has. And if it has, please consider tapping the like button below and subscribe for clear money videos every week. If debt feels like it's overwhelming you, buy now, pay later debt or other types of consumer debt, then there's videos that I've done that are proven strategies to help you get out of it. Techniques that align with the type of person you are, because I know that the same strategies don't work for everybody. If this is something you want to have a look at, then tap here next.